Anapana, meditation, it is a lantern that we hold with us all the time. Our soul plan is a pathway that we've created. It's a pathway that we've created, and with each breath, with each level of awareness, we hold this lantern of awareness and we walk. And we keep recognizing what is my Swadharma, what is my Swadharma, what is my Swadharma, and walk the path that we've created. Because if we take another route, that is paridharma, that is someone else's dharma, that is becoming a sheep. But when we follow our breath, our lantern, then we keep following the path that is meant for us. And we are already Buddhas inside, but that, what we call the end, is the recognition and the all-embrace that we are Buddhas. That is the destination, but it is also the path. So it's carrying a small lantern to reach a huge lantern, or the sun. So, Malik, actually, he shared an amazing journey, a practical journey on how he's been manifesting his Swadharma for the last 2 years, and the challenges he's had, and even his soul plan and the way his parents are related. So I really want to thank you for your attention, presence and kindness. Because without your attention, without your love, without your kindness and patience, I would not be able to share what I'm sharing. I would not be able to live in this joy and be in Ananda. So I'm really in deep gratitude towards you, my friends, my masters, my gods, because you have given me the opportunity to follow my Swadharma, to recognize my Buddha nature. So thank you.
Thank you, Prachi. Okay. They said a lot of stuff, so I don't want to repeat too many things, put people to sleep. But I think everyone's passed the principle of law of abundance. Everyone gets the basic, you live in abundance, you attract abundance. So I think everyone can agree with that, on some level or another. Okay. So I'll probably give examples from my own life. Right now I think that's the best thing I can do. There's a saying that the new Buddha, the new Guru is the Sangha. Like before it was like a Guru-disciple relationship. Now they say the times we live in, the Sangha, the community, like these guys mentioned community at least 2-3 times. That you need before it was the Buddha that helped you attain your Swadharma, now it's a community, And these days we especially have a lot of access to human resources. We have social media, we have so many outlets where we can plug in those nets of support that Prachi was talking about. And like Sahil was saying, you share your abundance, like you share your gifts and your needs will be provided by other people's gifts. So we're like in a circle of, like we don't have, there's this conditioning, we have this conditioning like, oh, I have to, we had that survival mentality still in our society. We have to get a job, we got to slave away and make money, and I don't want to dissuade anyone from doing that. That's part of the process. I had to go through that myself. But we're not really, when you really look at it, that's not living in the law of abundance. If you're believing that you'll be provided for, not only will you survive, you'll be happy, you'll be joyous. Like, there's something that you're doing and it's not really giving you that joy. It's getting you money, but it's not giving you that joy. You have to go with that. What I've learned in my own life is you have to go with that instinct of just, nature loves courage. It really does. So you take that first step and it'll be challenging. You'll feel naked. You'll feel vulnerable. But if you stay in that ananda, that state of joy, and you just tread on, you'll see miracles happen. I mean, you'll see indicators of abundance. You'll have feedback from the universe. And then at some point you might want to look back, and think of how you got into this mess in the first place, but then you just can't, there comes a point where you can't look back. You go back to that office, you go back to that 9-to-5 job, you go into punching. I've done all these, so I don't want to get too specific about it. But then you can't go back. There comes a point where you just can't go back because the shirt doesn't fit anymore. So you just keep going, and then the universe always does. When you're living in abundance and you're following your true nature, and you're not following the sheep, but you're following your inner lion. The nature provides you with it reflects that abundance back in your own life. It gives you signs, it gives you all kinds of things. For me personally, I had to try multiple directions. You know, I was like her. I grew up in the States, and I grew up in an Indian American culture, and believe it or not, like it's very academically oriented. They're like, you were like provided with 3 options. In my case, it was like 1 option. My parents were doctors, so like it was like by default, I figured out I had to be a doctor. Of course, I was doing this unconsciously. My parents didn't force me or anything, but it was like
Unconscious,
this film that was black cloud over my head. So I thought, okay, that's what I have to do. I did end up doing that. I didn't have the stamina or willpower to be a doctor, or the spirit. Some spirit. The spirit was there, but not so much. There were too many things that I liked at that point. So I came out of college. I did an office job. I was doing this. I was doing that. But there were points where I just let go. I got fired a couple times because I wasn't really. It didn't gel. Whatever I was doing wasn't gelling. So I traveled. I met people. You know, like you said, people who make you realize your Swadharma. I met people. I read books. I did self-discovery. All these things. And so ultimately, I came back to India, and one of the resources I did know I have was in India. Was like we had some land and we had some property, and I was looking for a money-making scheme so I can go back to the States and create a sangha where I can give people that support net to find their Swadharma. So my intention all along was to come back to India and go back to the States. But then I came to India, and the motherland just sucked me in. Like, I realized my highest potential was in India itself. I mean, little do you know, you come for one thing, but you end up sitting for another, and you have to do one of those things. So, on one of the properties in Hyderabad, I realized I have, what my Swadharma is to start a community. And that's what I've done. I've opened up my space, a bungalow, 3 floors. It's like an urban ashram in that sense. So, I offer, this is what I have to offer, is I offer people space and shelter, but I want them to find themselves, find their gifts, explore their gifts, feel free, you know, live in abundance, you know. If living in abundance is doing nothing, so be it. You know that, if you're living in abundance, it's gonna have an impact.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So one of the things I wanted to share in relation to that, being in a Sangha, we were talking about everyone sharing their gifts, right? Sometimes people's gifts aren't transparent. People don't know that people want to give their gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't know what other people's needs are. So I have this little exercise that if people have local communities at home, it's called a gift circle. So people come around in a circle and they talk about their gifts and their needs. And they go around in a circle stating their gifts. Like so for example, I'll state my gift. It can be anything. I'll be like, oh, I have a bicycle I'm going to give away. And my need, oh, I need some food. I haven't made the past week. That could be my gift and that could be my need. And then she could be like, oh, I'm having a potluck next week. And then she's like, but I don't know have a way to get to work. I walked 3 kilometers. Then I have your bike. There you go. We didn't have to go through the regular money economy to meet our needs. We had each other. We had a little sangha of 2. But if you can just expand the circle, you can think of the possibilities, like 10 people, 11 people, all the exchanges that happen. And the more you give, the more you want to give. Once again, abundance in action. So the circle is only as powerful as we make it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's upon us, it's our faith, our confidence to really initiate a circle and flow with it. And the more generosity we see in the circle, the more gifts and needs that we see being exchanged, the more confidence we have in the circle. And the more the circle expands, And before you know it, like, most of us will be doing part-time jobs, and maybe the other half of our time will be discovering herself and following her soul dharma. That's my